Okay, so let's talk about today's trade, April 29th, Wednesday, FOMC day. Going into the day, assumed it was going to be pretty choppy. Having looked at the daily profile the previous day, I had assumed that we would very likely be bearish today based on the previous day's daily close. We came down in the range, closed below that. Didn't really pay attention to the fact that at the time this was a daily order block. So going into the morning, I was bearish. Then we're looking at the 4 hour. You can see we had the 2 a.m. here and the 6 a.m., which obviously goes into New York Open right here. So it swept below the previous 4 hour low, but then closed back up in the range. So at that point, I was like, okay, let's look for longs up to this 4 hour high. So at that, also at that point, I try to find an SMT to go with every trade that I take. So at that point, YM had taken previous day's low. So we had our SMT on a higher time frame there. And so at that point, then I was just looking for an opportunity to go long. And right here, we have the 10 a.m. open. We manipulate down, kind of go sideways a little bit. I'm sure a lot of traders got tricked into going short here by not paying attention to the previous 4 hour close just because there's a fair value gap. They weren't trading the narrative of price. They were trying to trade a pattern. And so when they did that, they got smacked because their stop was probably up here and they were looking for the previous day's low. However, what I did was I waited for this to get inversed. This was my only trade of the day. I didn't take anything else. We created this breaker block right here. So as soon as we created that breaker block, we had a small fair value gap. We also had an SMT. We got our change in the state of delivery with this candle. So I took my entry at 214.75 when we were retesting this breaker block and took our high. We took the London high was our take profit, which worked out. I mean, it was really near high a day for the AM session, at least anyway. And it was about a 2-to-1, a 2.02 to 1, so almost exactly 2 to 1 risk to reward. That was the thought process behind it. That's what we did, and closed out the day big green. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Please like and subscribe. It's very helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to try to help you out. Thanks so much. Have a great day.